an all-new exciting episode of The Couch Show, and I'm always happy to be seated here with my lovely guests. Today I have three lovely people here with me, and we are talking about domestic violence. They're going to share their experiences with you, their opinions, their thoughts, and then moving forward, how to deal with such situations. My name is Abusive, and this is The Couch Show. Before we get into the whole show, let me first acknowledge our sponsors. My beautiful dress was made by Biotrix Clothing. You can find her on IG, Biotrix_clothing. Her number is 0246 982 891. I take the number again. The number is 0246 982 891. And then my hair was also made by Elike Beauty Parlor. She is an expert in wig caps, so you can contact her on 054 694 6911. My makeup was done by Zabi's Creation. The number is 054 164 6604. And last but not the least, we've been sponsored by Kill Mighty Service. We've been doing this with him since day one. Kill Mighty Service is available for all your carpentry, electrical, painting, designing, land surveying. You can contact him on 054 677 6393. We're going to go on a quick break. When you come back, we get into the whole show for the day. Welcome back from that break. We're going to go straight into our topic for the day: domestic violence. And when we say domestic violence, it's a violence committed by someone in the victim's close circle. It could be a family member, a relative, a partner, an ex-partner, someone very close to them. And to help me discuss this topic better, I have here with me Precious Miracle, and then next to her is Mauto Atiga Fuli, the big tree. I hope I got it right.
Yeah.
Yes. And next to him is Sylvia, and she's no newcomer here on this show, and I love doing this with her and then Precious. They have been here. This is the first time I'm doing this with Mauto, and we are hoping to have a lovely discussion. So guys, I believe you're all aware of the topic for the day. When we say domestic violence, what comes into your mind? Precious,
Alright, so my understanding of domestic violence is a kind of act that one person tries to take control over the other person. Yes, that's the meaning of domestic violence. And we have several forms of domestic violence. We have the physical, the psychological, the emotional, stalking, and a whole lot more.
Mauto, what comes to your mind when you say domestic violence?
Okay, thank you very much. So basically, I have actually had a series of witnessing it myself.
Wow.
So it's not just about the definition, maybe per book, but I have seen several domestic violence occurrences. Because when I was growing up, I had a chance to live in a community where people were, let's say, not highly educated, and I used to stay in compound houses. So I mean, this has been a major problem for me growing up. Not me myself personally, but I've seen people, children and wives being abused regularly in my place. So yeah.
What does that make you feel when you see this? How do you feel?
In fact, when we dive more into the conversation, I'll share my experience with you. I think there was one time I don't know whether I nearly killed a man or something. When I see it, I don't know, there is a rage that it brings in me. That's, I think, growing up, I've learned how to control it. But initially I couldn't. When I was younger, and I used to be masculine too. When I see it, like,
It's not masculine though.
like I just feel some fire in me, and I don't really want to know the cause of it. I just want to step in and take action. That is how I feel.
Yeah.
Twice I have stepped in to fight the man seriously because I saw the man beating the woman mercilessly, and I was Like I couldn't even ask why.
It
I
doesn't
just
even
stepped in
matter, does it?
to give some slaps to the man and
Wow.
I mean took the fight twice.
He's originally abused.
Yeah. See, that is an abuse.
There's some way I feel about it. I feel, I don't know, but it brings some fire in me. And I just go straight to the person to attack the person.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have more men like this.
Domestic violence, the same as abuses, which one as a partner in a relationship that is used to get power and control over an intimate person, which is very, very bad. People use that in so many situations. There are people who have been abused by yes, they cannot leave the relationship just because they are not seeing it. They see it as love, let's see, the word called that's love.
So abuse is not love. I like that. Malto, you see this when you become angry and emotional and all that. That is a very good sign, because when men feel those things, that means they have some sort of feelings for the woman and compassion and all that. There are times that you hear some men disgustingly say that some women deserve discipline, and sometimes when you put them in their places, they are well behaved and woman. What do you think influenced this whole domestic abuse?
Okay. So, per my experience and exposure, I think the major problem, if you critically analyze, is from the home. You know, my home, I have been in my with my parents my whole life. It's only when I went to high school that I was separated a little. Even that when I come back on vacation, it's only when I came here that I'm actually not going home frequently. But I've never seen a situation where my parents even argue. In fact, I never knew they could have tension sometimes. I never knew until growing up as I became an adult. Sometimes my daddy will call me to share some of the things that are happening. There is no way they'll make the kids know that they are having an issue. I don't know how they do it, but that is how they manage to do it growing up. I never saw them arguing or anything. Meanwhile, there were serious issues that came between them. So for me, as a person like this, I don't know where I'm going to learn how to abuse a woman from. I mean, my dad is always cool. It doesn't matter what is happening. He will find a way to calm the situation. Usually it is my mom who will be high a little, but my dad will find a way to cool it down. I've never even seen them argue to the point of maybe, abuse or anything. No. Not in words, not in action, nothing. So in that sense, my younger siblings too, I even find it difficult to discipline them sometimes, like want to hit them or something. No, I feel like no, we should sit down and talk about the issue. So that has been my life. So I see that if your home is like that, it shapes you naturally. Like naturally it tames you. No matter how angry you might be. For instance, me, never in my life, I don't know what a woman would do to push me to hit her. Never. That one I can swear on it because it will not happen. I don't have that thing in me to push me. Sometimes to anger issues. You know, naturally, I don't want to dive into science, but when you go into genetics, I mean, everybody has a coding in our genes. And some of the family trends, like, they have anger issues. They get angry easily. And some people would want to be quiet when they're angry. Others want to walk away when they're angry. Others want to show action when they're angry. Some people cannot even speak when they're angry. So what they have to do is to show you through stretching of arm or anything. That's a very wrong thing. But that is how some people are. So either the person has anger issues that is uncontrollable through genetics, or the person has seen it frequently in their home, so they think it's normal. For instance, in the compound house that I was living, this one used to abuse it from the wife to the children, all of them, just like that. And because of that, when you look at the attitude of the children, the older ones towards the younger ones, it's the same. The little thing, they have to straighten their arms on the younger ones. So they see it to be normal. And if somebody doesn't sit these kids down and tame them and teach them, or maybe through education they become exposed to wisdom and knowledge, they are definitely going to grow up with this attitude. So for me, from my side, that is how I see it. And the last thing that would also contribute is that sometimes I always say this, but people argue with me. I say that the TikTok guy, like people who are masculine, people who are heavy in nature, that you see that this one, yeah, you may think they are those who abuse women. Some women say, "Do you are masculine if you hit me one?" No. If you look at it critically, the issue that I commit is the smallest people. Trust me.
Yeah, they want to show their.
They feel like if they don't do something extra, the woman will not be afraid of them or not submit to them.
Yeah.
I don't need to make Sylvia know that I'm a man.
Yeah.
When she sees me, she knows that this guy.
But the woman doesn't even make you.
That is how they feel.
Because if you're a man enough, go fight your own.
And trust me, it is so funny to hear some women say that. It is when their man beat them.
Yes,
How can you say that?
like watch the man.
I don't want you to go there.
So what happens is that those women, if you're in a relationship with them, they push you to do that.
Exactly.
They find a way to anger you. Like they bring some anger in you. They find a way. They will do everything. Like
because
some women can say, "Just fool me. Just fool me."
Like they've been abused of some people be like, my husband and I were happy, but we were not happy anymore. He hits me once, then the love rekindle. Now he's not hitting me again, so I'm not happy. And I'm like, what kind of advice should we give you?
You see, there is a quote. Sorry to say, many are mad, but few are on the street. So there is a level of madness to everybody. These are psychological problems.
Yeah.
If you think someone beating you triggers more love for the person, psychologically you are not fit. Like you need some guidance and assistance.
But one thing is, we were always talking about women being abused, but a lot of men are abused too. They don't speak up because the fear. Like I said, Obabu is really alive, man. So the guy is not going to say it, but a lot of guys are being abused as well. All right, so to me. Some causes of abuse pain. Sometimes like he was saying, has experienced a lot of abusive cases and all that. So the slightest thing somebody does brings back those the pain triggers the action. So a lot of times a lot of people go through pain and hit people or show that pain not because they abuse them, but because of the pain. Sometimes in a relationship, jealousy. Some guys are very jealous. Some women are very jealous. When someone is very like argument. You get it. So jealousy, pain, and then like you were saying, from home experience and all that are causes of abuse or domestic violence.
So we are come to you. Malta, when you were talking, you said you mentioned something that I really loved, that your parents, watching your parents growing up, not seeing how they solve their issues and it was all peaceful and all that. There are some family, the father never hits the mother, then he hits the kids. You understand? Sometimes you see a father discipline their daughters and the way they beat them. You understand? If they have younger siblings growing up, they see it. You are not beating mommy, but you are beating my sister who's a woman. So when I grow up and I get a girlfriend, not say because I want to know the gender, no, I have to put you in the place. You understand? So somehow I think that what he said is right, that start at home. It starts at home. But please, let's be honest here. Sometimes the parent will have peaceful and smooth home. The father will not hit the mother, will not hit any of the daughters. But you understand? So those things, where does it come from? Is it peers or is it what? I want to go. You were talking about signs and all that. So yeah.
So let me touch on the punishment aspect of maybe the kids.
Yeah.
Maybe my father used to flog me a lot. But one of the things my father used to do that I appreciate him so much is that before he beats you, you never, I don't remember a situation where my father would be angry, it doesn't matter what I've done, and just jump on me and punish me. He will sit you down like we are sitting now. You know you did this the last time, I warned you. You know you did that the last time, I warned you. It's like a court.
Yeah.
Do you plead guilty or not? He will ask you, do you think you deserve to be punished or not?
Yeah.
Even the number of lashes you are supposed to take will be negotiated.
Hey.
Yes, my father will sit you down.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a beautiful
You
family.
tell you that for all these things you have done, I'm giving you 18 lashes. So that I bet you cry and they say, okay, I'll reduce it to 12. Yes. And you give it to you. There are times my father has flogged me for my back to bleed. But I understood it and accepted it because he made me understand that I deserve to be punished.
Exactly.
You get it?
Yeah.
So sometimes you should give the opportunity to in order for not anybody around the family to feel like you are abusing the person, but you are correcting. That is how I think we should go about it. You make the person who is being punished understand. So my younger siblings will be there and they will know that we are in court. And I accepted to take the lashes because I'm at fault. But when the situation like the kid comes in and you start slapping him, and one thing my father would not do is to use his hand to beat you. He always goes with the king. So in my house, every corner there is a king with it. Then they will ask you, go and bring the king.
You know where exactly the king is.
Yeah.
Go bring it out.
So moving on. Yes, definitely there are homes where everything is peaceful and serene. But a kid will come out of that home to be abusive. Yes, it happens. So that's one thing we all don't know is that when it comes to genetics, you know, I don't want to dive more into the science, but one thing I want you to understand is that your parents may be having certain traits in their genes that it is suppressed in their genes, but it will be dominant in your genes. So let's say your parent is having an anger issue, then it will be suppressed, recessive in your mother's gene. But because of the combination with your father, you have the anger dominating in you. So your lifestyle will be different. You can even go and pick traits of your great grandfather.
Yeah.
And that is what you are going to live with. So as humans, in fact, we need to be shaping our lives almost every now and then. Like, there are so many flaws in us. And you would have to first identify them and you work on them. It's not like I don't get angry. I've had a situation that I've seen my girlfriend's phone testing with sugar daddies.
Hey, jealousy.
No, sometimes we are there. I remember one time we were doing a snap and the message that popped up at the top, trust me.
Sorry.
It was really serious.
Oh, sorry.
And she was surprised the way I handled the whole thing. It was a clear evidence that the person was missing your. I don't want to say.
Oh my God.
But it's not just missing, but missing something that we all know that this one happened. Just within the week, something happened. And I was like, and she didn't know what to do. But I just sat her down and advised her. And she was surprised. She cried and cried like she was surprised. She was thinking I was going to react some way. It's all about training. It's not like I'm a special man or anything.
Yeah.
But I try to improve myself every day. I discipline myself every day. And that's what we all need to learn. Whether you're a woman or you're a man, trust me, as my sister was saying, there is a lot that women do to us. But we cannot voice it out. Who are you going to voice it out to? Your fellow men that I want to discuss with, they will just make fun of you.
Yeah.
There are situations where women even sleep with us forcefully, like they force.
Yeah,
I have experienced that before. So the women use us a lot. But who are you going to go?
Oh, this man gets upset.
I don't want to. I don't want to agree.
If someone visits me and I try, but there is no way I could go and tell my brother, Charlie, I want to visit this girl. The girl she slept with me. It sounds funny, and I won't make fun of you. So just keep it to yourself.
The whole thing makes it funny because you a man, you are stronger than the woman. So how come a woman is able to force you
say that, it means you are narrowing abuse to strength alone.
I like the
We have
fact what he has got.
I mean,
it's one fact of the one of the questions.
But he enjoyed it. But the woman, you don't.
You do enjoy it, my dear. Oh, come on.
He has brought a very interesting part of the conversation now about the keeping quiet. And I mind all of you, we are talking about abuse. We are not being biased here. We are not talking only for the female. So for the male, some of the female also feel the same thing that he said. Your husband has beaten you or something. It happens to us, your own circle. Because all your friends know that you have this bougie ass husband that everybody like you are lucky, and then he's beating you. So you'll be like, hey, what my girl say? How am I going to tell them that he's beating? You understand?
Talking about the aspect where he said the side where he says women force men to rape. It's true. But then you the man. So you like
I know what you want to say.
But not the friend. No. So
I get what you guys say. Do you know why it's hard when it comes to like a woman raped you?
if you're not erect,
How
can
But who is saying that? Who is saying that those who are being raped do not get wet?
They don't.
I don't know that side.
They don't.
No.
They don't.
They
don't get
force
wet.
you to get wet.
They don't.
How do you do that?
No. They don't get wet. They don't.
Is that what you're
No
saying?
one can force you to get wet.
No.
Somebody can force you to
They
get
don't.
wet.
No.
They don't. That's meant to dry. That is why. That's the outcome that.
Let's be honest here. Somebody is very
I'm saying
You are
no.
not raped to the aspect alone.
yeah.
But no,
That is how you are looking at the movie one that
we are not talking about the
you-
mutual. No, we are not talking about the mutual one too. We're talking about
I can pin you down and touch you until you become wet. And I'm saying, even though you are not
Rape is disgusting.
For me, no, it won't work. For me, it won't work.
How do you define rape?
Listen,
something that
it's
is
a disgusting and
forced.
messy
Forced.
topic right now. The whole rape thing is very dicey and very, very sensitive.
Or we're not talking about rape. Force. Force is
Yeah, it's the same thing.
That is rape.
Yeah,
No, I don't think a woman can become
so
wet
wet
with rape.
No, how do you are seeing rape as the one that you have to be pinned down.
So you're talking about a relationship
There are
where
so many times that a woman is not interested in having sex with you, even your girlfriend.
Yeah.
But you find a way to have sex with her.
that one is about it's about
No. She'll keep saying no. She'll keep saying no until it is inside and she's enjoying it. Then she keeps quiet. She wants that is rape.
You play that. It's not rape. But this one is mutual. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. But the circumstance or the feeling you brought, or the feeling, the touching and everything triggered that thing, you know. But rape, you're not aware of it. You're not aware of it, and then boom, it just happened.
That is how you classify rape. That's not rape.
No, that's rape.
As far as you don't want to have the sex with me, and I find a way to have sex with you, it is rape.
No.
Then men can never be raped.
Relationship
Then men
or
can never be
husband and wife.
raped. No, if that's what you are saying, then men can never be raped. Is that what you are saying?
Men can be
Because the man will always have to be hard.
Enjoy though.
Once the man becomes hard,
you the man. You can become hard at any time.
even when you don't like it.
Oh, when you don't like it, then the woman is.
Wait. Then you don't go. Then you are contradicting yourself. Even when you don't like it, you can you erect when you don't like
That is what I'm asking.
You can't.
So if you can't, you
And then how can a woman
get wet when you also don't want to be, you know.
A woman can make you hard. Do you know how a man gets hard? You see, it's about the biology. If you have the scientific
let's put the scientific backing aside and let's
different. No. How does a man get hard? How does a woman get wet? This is what you have to know. Do you know how we get hard?
I don't
Tell
know.
us.
Unless you
Good.
tell me.
Tell us.
So the whole thing hanging there, the dangling modifiers here, is purely muscles.
Okay.
All you need to do is to trigger the heart to beat fast, to dilate your blood, and blood will rush into it, and now you are hard. I don't even like it. Automatically, the system has been designed. Blood is going to rush into it and become hard. And it's hard.
Discipline yourself.
So that is why the woman can abuse you. She uses a psychology. She knows that when she's naked and you see her,
But yes, that
naturally blood is going to rush there.
yes. But a woman will not be wet when a man is naked in front of her. It's different. The way women women and men respond to sex, or being wet and being hard, are two different things altogether. Yes, you get me. A man can actually see a woman naked or even part of the body, and the man gets hard.
You are narrowing it to you.
That's the truth. That is the truth. We are women.
Some people are very sensitive. Try to
Calm down.
And even
I am the guest here. These are the hosts of the show. You know something? This gentleman here humbly and vulnerably told us that he's been raped, and the women are.
I didn't say I've been raped.
You already know. I don't know. He said he's been used. Oh no! Sleep with me. And instead of the women sympathizing with him, we can't sympathize with him. That's one day. No, ladies, I don't be. No.
You see, we are. Let's not. For me, I speak in the perspective of science. We have different body feelings. There are women that when they sit in a car and the car hits in a pothole, they have orgasm.
Oh,
do you know about that?
I know.
You know situations where people find themselves
in the pool and then the water just splashes.
So such a person, you think when she's with me and I start touching her nipple, whether she likes it or not, she's going to be wet.
I'm telling
you that there are different branch of people.
But they are few.
There are people who are, but they are there.
One out of 100.
Yes, but they are there. 1 out of 100.
Yes.
Times 6 billion. How many do we get?
Psychological experts with the mood.
Let's hold on with that because if we want to go back and forth and yes and all that.
We are diverting from our topic. But the rape they use this one.
I don't know why you don't want to accept the fact that women can also manipulate men and have sex with.
No, we understand, but we are saying that
once you are manipulated to have sex with, it is rape. That is rape. Once the person manipulates you, whether the person pins you down, whether the person forces you, whether the person makes you hard, like whatever means they use to get you in bed. Meanwhile, you don't agree. There are married men that they are office workers manage to get them to sleep with them, and they get angry afterwards. Don't you see those things?
To sleep with, it's not rape. It's not rape.
Why?
It's not rape.
Can somebody search the meaning of rape for me?
I think that's not rape. We all need to know because
so the manipulation comes either by force, either psychological, either there are so many ways to manipulate someone.
If you manipulate me, definitely, or at the end, I'll
have you forgotten
yes,
that?
If I don't do. But if you force me, if
I put a gun on you, if I put a gun on you, that touch you and say get naked. Otherwise,
get naked because it's a force. You force.
I'm forcing you psychologically. I'm making you afraid. Do you get it? Somebody can say, if you don't sleep with me, I'm not giving you this one.
So rape, rape is a type of sexual assault, usually involving sexual intercourse or other forms of sexual penetration carried out against a person's will.
Good!
Against your will. No, against the person's will is different from you.
That is manipulation. But what is manipulation? It means the person doesn't like it, and you are making.
The person's consent.
The
person give you the consent to know it.
No, it's against what?
The person's will or consent.
So if you are not my girlfriend, you visit me, you start going naked, you start doing things, then you get me and you sleep with me. It is against my will. I'm not interested in sleeping.
She goes naked to get you hard. It's your choice to get hard.
No. Don't you hear those issues?
No.
Somebody has slept with their daughter for 5 years, 10 years. How did it happen over and over again?
Because they can't talk. No.
She doesn't like it, but she does it every day.
No. Sometimes you just get used to something without you liking it, but yet
that's what I'm saying. It is still abuse. It is still sexual.
It's still abuse, but
it is still sexual abuse. The fact that the next time she goes, the father goes to knock on the door, she open and then lie down for the father to sleep.
I think rape is
different.
If you have sex with me without forcing me, even if I'm lying down and I'm not fighting back and I tell you,
it is rape.
And you penetrate me,
it is rape. That is the same thing to a man.
Yeah,
I tell you no, I'm not interested. You still find a way to jump on
your
me
boyfriend
and sleep with me.
It is your boyfriend in the room, and then your boyfriend feels like having sex with you. You go like no. Your boyfriend touches you. That is where you get wet, and then the penetration comes. Okay, but your boyfriend is going to tell you that because your boyfriend knows you're not wet, and then he's going to penetrate. That is rape. Okay, but
wait, so what has words got to do with rape?
No.
When
when you're not wet, that is what comes out of like when you're forced. When you're into me, your time to.
And there's some rape that the person will just lie down.
Sometimes I will be lying down. I will not fight
Effortless.
I will not fight back. If
No, you see,
listen,
everybody had a
if you want to get me at a gunpoint,
to yourself.
you understand? There are some people who will not fine.
We're not
Okay.
saying
If you want to rape at a gunpoint or
It's
something,
force.
you see 3 strong men who wants to rape,
But
you said them,
yes,
there's no way how it's coming. I won't fight back.
yes, it's
I won't fight back. I just will be my legs graciously because if you fight back, you're only
That is what they understand.
no, first go fighting back. First, yes, I will fight back.
The same way to men. The same way to men.
Yes,
A woman can just be kissing and touching you, and you say no until.
But you have to support too. Because boys, when they do that, they will go and come at the same point you come back and come and go, I left my shoe.
There are women who have also been raped. Look, there was a circumstance just recently in Kumasi. 3 armed robbers came to rape the woman in the presence of the husband. They tied the man. The first one slept with her, the second one slept with her, the third one was sleeping with her, and the woman started screaming and grabbing the armed robbers back like that. She was having all that. And it became an issue. The man said he's leaving the woman. How can someone rape you in front of me and you're having all that? This is her fault. Like it happened. She has never even felt that way before. Do you understand me? So even though she enjoyed it, it was still rape.
no, you know why she enjoyed it because she has not felt that out for years. So that's why
So I'm not saying it's
she
not
became
rape.
relaxed. She became relaxed.
So it's not rape.
Like they have
So it's not rape.
I will bring you people next week. We will talk about this rape. Rape will be the topic of the day because
Let's go and
go do all your
yeah.
That's why
You cannot say that.
What I've said.
A man, you don't know how a man feels. You are speaking in the context of a woman. I'm telling you that whether you like it or not, a woman can make you hard. Whether you want to sleep with her or not, she can make you hard.
That's what I'm saying.
And when she makes you hard and jumps on you, she will sleep with you.
There are ways of raping someone.
But you have to penetrate for that. Yes.
What do you like the penetration? If I'm lying down and jump on me, you think
So you do it.
it's not the same thing. Just let her jump on me. I bet you're the same.
Wait, you have to move.
I'm giving you a scenario where 3 people have a circumstance where 3 people rape someone and the 3rd person she had orgasm.
So whether I enjoy it or I don't enjoy it,
It is
the
rape.
fact is I said no. This is why married couples sometimes go to court over rape. Your husband, you can take him to court for raping you.
Sure.
You understand? And this is not a situation whereby the husband pins you down, slaps you, rapes you by force. It will be a case that I said no.
And I said no. When the person says
But you
no
still
and you do it,
Do you know when you are having sex with someone, when you are having sex with a lady, you can do all the foreplay, all the touches, all
do it.
whatever.
And she say no.
And then when you are about to penetrate, even after you penetrate, you are hitting, you are having the sex, and she says stop,
you got to stop.
and you don't stop,
All
you
the
don't pull
continuation is rape.
out. That thing can take you to jail. Simple.
All the continuation is rape.
Even though you were in the process, it's not that I started, you said no, and I forced to pay. No, you've agreed, you've done foreplay, I've penetrated, we are doing it. Then I go like stop. The moment I say stop, come out. If you don't, and it goes to court, the only thing the jury is going to ask you is, did she say stop or not? Yes, she did. What did you do? Because
Did I
you
say
were doing
stop
it,
or not?
so I just.
No, you the
So it's rape. Calm down.
Yes.
Calm down. Calm down. I think we have to have a whole show and whole topic on rape. And I'll bring these 3 sets. Sexual assault, because you see, I know rape and manipulation, it's a whole new big thing on its own, and they are disagreeing. Me, I don't even know where I stand. But we're gonna go for a very quick commercial break. When we come back, we continue with back from that break. Trust me, we've had fun and I just can't stop laughing and smiling. We didn't divert, but we got to an interesting part of the conversation, and trust me, we're gonna have a whole conversation, a whole episode on the rape topic. But now we are going to continue with our topic for the day, domestic violence. We've talked about what influenced it? We've had parts that say it's genetic and all that, and some come from parenting and how you were brought up, all that. So I'm going to go into this next step. Where do you go to if you are being abused? And mind you, domestic abuse comes from our close circle, family, partner, and all. Who do you report to this situation? What do you go to? Sylvia.
Okay, I would say, who do you report to? Okay, I think firstly, you need to see a counselor, or better still, someone who you think is more learned and has experiences in such to be able to counsel you on abuses. Yes, and then as I think maybe when you go to a counselor, what first thing he will say is for abuse to happen. Oh, they have this adage that they say that charity begins at home. Yeah, and then it's not really from your home. As he said earlier on, that you can be in your home where your parents don't fight, your daddy or your mom doesn't hate you with your siblings. But yes, though, you have a circle of friends, maybe it could be from your environment, what you've been seeing. Well, that alone influences you or influences your life.
Okay, so going to the council, this is Ghana. But let's say this is our system. Growing up in our communities, I for one, have you ever been to a therapy or any family that there's a family therapist that comes to say that, oh, my teenager is going through some things, or so let's say that honestly we have that availability of that kind of counseling and therapy system. So in the immediate family that all this is happening, who do you go to? Who do you go to? If let's say your case, I don't go on that side again, but in a case whereby there are some aunties who abuse the boys in the family, sleeping with them, and there are cases like that. Who do you report this to?
So that has been the major challenge with regards to abuse. You know, the reporting part is the most, very technical. In fact, sometimes if you're not careful, you're the one who is being abused, tagged as a bad person or as a bad kid. So it makes it very, very, very sensitive. For me, what I think is very important to do, let's say if you are in a house and maybe you are a young girl and your daddy tries to, maybe growing up, tries to touch your breast, hit your ass, and all of these things, the first thing you need to do is report to your mother. Yeah. But it all comes back to the bond between the family. Yeah. What is the relationship with your mother? How cool are you with your mother? What are some of the discussions? So as parents, you can make it smooth. I remember growing up as a teenager, we were staying in the house. I've been abused so many times too, but when I say it, you not agree with me.
This time you agree, don't mind them.
Look,
I'm with you.
A lady was in a cloth, and she came to watch television in our room. And when she came, I was alone. She took off the cloth and came to sit on me.
But why did you tell finish? Let him finish. Let's talk about this. Let him finish talking.
So I had to push her away and quickly go and tell my mother that she should go and warn the lady's mother that she shouldn't try that thing. Wow. In fact, those times I was able to do that easily because I had not had sex before. I didn't know how it felt to touch a woman or anything. So I was like, she's an evil person like that. I felt somewhere about it. I was able to control it. But now that I know how it feels, how nice it is and all of those things, it is easy for a woman to pin you down. You understand? So in cases like this, if you're not careful, you don't have to go to friends and all of those things. It depends on the bond. Because I had a cool vibe with my mom, I want to sit on mom quickly. Man, this is what the girl came to do in our room. You understand? And she was able to confront the ladies, and it was a shame to the girl. She didn't try that again. You understand? So it depends on the bond between. I think the immediate family should be the first. Yeah. First, if you're a wife and your husband is beating you, there are people. There are people who stood in for the marriage. The very mistake we do is keeping it to yourself. When you keep it to yourself for a long while, it becomes very difficult to report. Yeah. the very first time you should do the report. You shouldn't keep it.
It's all part of the marriage. It's all
you shouldn't
part of
accumulate
marriage.
it.
It's not a bed of roses.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be progressive. Like when you report to the immediate person, no action is taken. You take it to the next, maybe a pastor, maybe an elder. Then you can report to the police station. You can go to the police. Maybe you love your husband. You don't want to say. You can just go and talk to the commander. Commander, I want you to. Come and do something to shake him small for me. We need to take action. Abuse is never a good thing that we need to sit down and say, I love him, I'm afraid. But mind you, as I say, the variance of human is very great. Everybody how they react.
And you know something? The commander you're going to talk to come and speak to your husband or to shake your husband will end up shaking your marriage. So that's when the counselor comes in. The counselor doesn't mean you should go to a higher ranked therapist or something. No, the counselor can be someone who is more learned, someone who is, we have classes in the church. This can
you are abusing me and I'm telling the commander to come and shake the
shake marriage for some husbands.
The marriage shake and collapse and scatter.
What I'm trying to say here is, we are in a home with your kids. We have some children. What are the beatings you give them? The beatings you give them, it will never change them. But sit them down, talk to them, and see the impact it will have on them.
But so you know that's anytime that points any form of abuse, there's no way a counselor is going to pop into your mind. The first person may be your mom, your sibling, your pastor, anybody. Yes. So that's why I'm saying that there should be an immediate person around. You get it?
So
I think Mauta came from the person immediate.
Yeah, that's saying that.
But she's afraid. You see,
yes.
You know, one of the basic things why we don't report, especially women, wives, is that before anybody marries an abuser, the person knows the person.
Yes.
Trust me, it is overlooking.
Yeah, sure.
There's no way you beat a man that will abuse you. Yes.
Which one beats ourselves because of love?
So the moment the person has agreed to settle with such a person, it becomes very difficult to report after marriage. Because even before marriage, you're not reporting. So that's one of the major issues. But I will speak for the case. As for the women, you are grown up enough to know
How to talk to you.
And in fact, one of the things we get, if you're not careful, someone can abuse you, and you may end up abusing the person more.
Tell me more.
So, I was watching a program on the television. There was this old woman who was crying bitterly when they visited the prisons. What is her story? Her husband drinks. You go out there, you be drunk. When he comes home, come and misbehave, beat her all the time, all of those things. One day she was pounding fufu. The man went to drink and came back. Why is the food not ready? Before he realized, he has kicked the woman out of anger. The woman stood up. Pistol. The man is dead.
Down flat.
For you, that.
Yes.
You are one.
And the woman has been. She has been in life imprisonment. So she's been there for 27 years. Look at that. So she was not the abusive one, but out of just one day reaction, trust me, it can push you to put something into the new for them.
Exactly. True.
Like before you realize you have done it. So this is a very serious issue that people will have to take action right from their scratch. You don't overlook it. In fact, there are different kinds of people. You can be with an abusive person who will never hit you. You know why? Because of the bond between you. The marriage is a thing. It is not just a physical thing that we see, but it's between the man and that connects. When you meet someone and the thing is not connected, you don't have to force it. We force it too much. You know, a man loves you, but he often stretches his hand on you because you are the type that would want to challenge or make your point right. But no, at that time, don't be with an abusive person.
But Malto, let's not narrow abuse on just the physical. We have the emotional one. A guy is not going to beat you, a woman is not going to beat you, but emotionally, they're going to make you trouble.
That's
so
people who will be punished.
For instance, even going through a girlfriend's phone is an abuse.
Yeah, very.
Bring your phone. Who is that called you?
Controlling, stalking,
all of these things are
the modern slave.
Yeah.
all of these
I'm
things
gonna
are
have fun with my friends. No. My
Why
auntie has given birth. I need to go say hello. Why are you going?
Yeah.
There's a funeral. There's a. I mean,
it's my birthday. People are bringing me gifts. No. Don't accept any gifts from anybody.
What do you want?
All of this.
A man will call you, and maybe let's say you are outside and or in a car, and then he hears a boy's voice and another guy's voice. Who are you with? But then he just hangs up, not asking you where you are. Then
I have a doctor friend who was in a serious relationship. The man wanted to marry him, but the man was so nice, spreading with money and everything. But one thing that was abusing her so much that she couldn't contain was that the man wanted to be with her all the time. When she goes from work, the man will pick her into a V8, roam all the world. Whilst the man is doing his work, traveling anywhere. When she's off duty, the man, you have to come and sit in the car with the man, travel all around the world. Even though she was being treated nicely, there was no space for her personal life anymore.
Sure.
And that is a pure abuse. Just because of that, she stood firm to withdraw from the relationship. She didn't allow herself to be married because you know that once this is a pure
modern slavery
prison, like
yes.
You know something? Abuse comes with its own side attraction.
Yeah.
And this is the part where when you're not careful, you die in.
Yeah.
Because abusive husbands, especially abusive partners, I'm saying we are talking not for women only, but I think the abuse of women is high. That's why most of our examples are
all women.
Yeah, on women. Some men will beat you to a pulp and then come back from work with all the expensive jewelry, trips, and how do I go on a trip?
That is what is triggering the love for people.
I don't
feel like once she's beating, when the man can't write iPhone 13 at his camera, it makes wow.
So that side attraction, girls. How do you walk away from it? Because let's be honest, let's all be honest. Trip to Dubai, there's every 1 month to be at home. You one car, you have the expensive car, you live in a big mansion. So because of 1-2 slap, you are living it. That's what people think.
Yeah.
So your friends will be a typical example. I know someone that the husband beats, and funny enough, someone was advising her. I heard it and I'm like, okay, your funeral will be next week. This woman was bruised, like her face and her body, and just someone was telling her, you see your house, your car. If you leave, do you know the girls who want it? If you leave, someone will come and can't come back again.
You see that?
I heard it, I was passing by, I'm like, okay, come to your funeral next week. I mean, you can still, but when you die, the same girls will come in.
Yes.
You understand?
So don't wait till you die.
And then he won't even mourn you for even one.
Who said you? I feel the urge that I wanted you alive without killed you.
It's funny, and most of the people who abuse people are super sweet when they are not in the abusive mood.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that is also very weird about.
So, you're
always
crazy.
like,
You're always crazy.
Yeah.
But once they switch on to that mood, then
They become monsters.
and that one too is temporal.
Yeah.
So you have long sweetness and very, very
No, short, sweet.
very, very deep
Long,
bitterness.
They have you in a month.
In a month,
And then they beat you to a pop in 2 days or in 1 day.
Yeah, it's true.
then they come back to normal.
Yes.
They come and beg you, they come and cry.
No, like for real.
So I was making an analysis that we should know who we partner with. Look, I'm saying that you can be with an abusive man, but the man will never hate you. You know why? Because maybe you are super submissive. We are different kinds of people.
Yeah.
Me, for instance, I've had a series of issues with my bosses trying to abuse me. Simply because I will not just agree to whatever you say. And I'll say it in your face. No, that's not how to do it. This is not the company policy. Like when I used to work in a company, I will tell you, no, this is a rule. You can't bend around it with your own rule. And as a result, they'll find ways they'll put a lot of workload on me. Even at the workplace, they are abused. They'll pack a lot of work on me, knowing that I have to work within 8 hours, but they'll give me 12 hours work to do, just to make me stressed. I mean, all of these things. So, some of of these things, it is everywhere.
Yeah.
But you just have to know how to handle it. So if you think the man you are with gets angry easily, and you are a type who would want to justify yourself when it comes to issues like, why are you calling this person? Why? You want to. Somebody will just say, oh baby, I'm sorry. If you know that at that time, then it means you can be cool with it. People know they'll be abused maybe once a while. But if you know that someone who would want to defend yourself, who want to, then you should know that it is very dangerous for you.
Guys, when do you walk away?
When you walk away when it's too much.
Why should you wait for it to be too much?
No, I'm being real here. From the start, maybe the sweetness is too much. So I feel like he will change. He will change.
Are you willing to forgive a guy who slaps your sweetest boyfriend who's by out of anger? He's never beat you before. Out of anger, Sylvia, out of anger, he slaps you. He even beat you, he just slaps you out of anger. He's never done that. You've been with him for years, but he just slaps you once. Are you willing to forgive him?
Okay, let me put it over here. I will forgive you, but I will never be with you again. That's it. We'll never be enemies, we'll be friends. I will never be with you.
I'll never continue the relationship.
But I'll forgive you.
That's a very good one. To err is human, don't forget.
To forgive is divine.
Precious, are you going to continue?
Me. Then I call my mom now. My mom is going to advise you to leave as soon as possible. Because when I was young, my parents made me understand that you're going to report him to the police and your uncles are going to beat him back. So that thing is in my mind. So if you don't know in your mind, you go come and hit me there. Oh, please, I'm not staying. I will forgive. I'm a very forgiving person. I forgive very easily. But I said, I bet you have something you need here. Now,
So, someone used you. Did you control the person?
So, I mean, as easy as they may say, trust me, they find themselves in such a relationship for the first time. Pardon the person, trust me. If I've been with you for 3 years, I've been nice, we have been on the good things together, I've been supportive, I've been everything. One day we had an argument and I slapped you. And I mean, make you feel like I've done it. But I come and plead. I'm sorry, I don't know what came on.
This is not a man you marry.
Trust me.
Never done that. You are going to think of
You
all the
think of.
things.
when I tell my mom something, I have this perception.
You may not even tell your man.
Oh,
Trust me. It depends on how the man is going to react. It depends on the reaction of the man after he slaps you. Somebody can just slap you and go down and
hold your legs.
You do it again. What pushes you? What pushed you to slap me?
Yes. You did it again.
And I'm saying that I've been with you for 3 years and I've not done it before. Trust me, you will be tempted to. I mean, if the relationship is fresh and
Earlier on mentioned that you person are reacting to things. So some will agree and I accept you, others will just leave. Because I know definitely it will happen again. It will happen. Am I slapping you? See, guys, and this is where I want to start from. Sika, would you leave or you stay?
Me.
Yes.
Me.
Be honest with yourself.
I'm being real here. I personally, like he said, it comes from home. My mom, she has made us feel that there is no way someone can hurt your love. Simple. You understand? Simple. And she has made us feel that you can do whatever you want to do on your own.
Yes. Simple.
Because I feel that some of the fears, I've married you, we have a life together, and we are here, we have to. How do I start with the kid? My mother has always told you, it makes us say, if you have life, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You understand? So with the sweetness and all that, for me, I look up to so many people. As for people, it's not about the hating, but you won't even get there. I'm a very, very sensitive person, hands down. So if you are talking to me, and if you say certain things, certain words, even with my female friends, if you are not careful, you say certain things, to me, it triggers a lot to me. And I will not come off to you that, hey, no. I just know the kind of person I know, like, you are bad for me. Also, I don't realize with you. So even to come into relationship, and even the way you talk to me and how it makes me feel like, no, the way you talk to me doesn't make me feel myself. Yeah. I feel like you are bringing my self-esteem back. It's a damn deal for me. Yeah. So for me, it will not go to the hating. Some people look up for Ben will be to me number one. So it goes with every individual. But let's look at the consequences. We were talking about who to report to, where to report to, who to trust me. Victims don't talk because the shaming and the whole lot of questioning and the ups and downs that comes with it. You understand? It will surprise you that you've been abused, but then when it gets to the family and all that, that's when everybody starts to pinpoint a whole lot of fault from you, and especially when the person is very, very close. Situations of fathers abusing daughters. This one is a very delicate one because this is your father. Like, it's hard. Sure, like, you understand? So sometimes, I mean, I don't want to even bring the point. You are the guest. This is what you are here for. What do you do in a situation a father and a daughter abuse? What do you suggest?
Father and daughter abuse. Yeah. I'm very close with my mom and my little brother. So let's say I'm the victim. I'll quickly report to my mom and my little brother. Yes, my mom will trust me, but my mom trusts me. She's gonna trust me. She's not gonna say, no. The fact that I've told her, she knows I'm not like that, I've told her that's what's happening, she's gonna take an action. Okay. So that's me. Yeah.
And the fear of, you see, she's saying this because of the bond between her and her mother. But I mean, there's some home, let's be honest, African home, not every home have that kind of bonding.
Yeah, with my dad. I'm so close to my daddy, like we talk a lot, we talk deep with my daddy. Yeah, but my mommy, we talk, but it's not like you don't have that bond there.
Yeah. So if that bond is not there, something like this happen. Sometimes, please let's talk to me. The aftermath, reporting the case, aftermath. Because sometimes you give doing it, but it's happening. Yeah. Fathers do it. It's not like it doesn't happen. It does happen. There are some fathers who are very close with their kids and in a very lovely home. So you go and report. And sometimes it's hard. They feel like the child is making up stories. Yeah. And sometimes the fathers have this silly argument that why they are maybe punishing into the child and all those things. How?
So I think from experience, there's one incident in one of the houses I used to live. So there was this little girl, like 5 years old, and a 10-year-old boy. And because the girl is younger, usually they back together. So one day the small girl was saying that her, excuse me to say, her vagina was paining her. And like, why? What is wrong? They said that the 10-year-old boy has been using his finger to, putting his finger there. And it was very delicate. The boy is a very good boy. Like, he's good. And I don't see any reason why the younger one would want to say something like that. So, the small girl's mom was saying, where are Bonnie? She was trying to introduce, no, we don't do that. What I need you to do is to observe yourself. It could be children can say a lot of things. That one too is there.
Yeah.
Perhaps you were just watching there for her. And maybe there was a scratch or something. Fine. And it could be true that he is really doing that. So you have to be, some of these things are very sensitive. If you're not careful, you're going to put a blame on someone who is not doing anything. Yeah. If you're not careful, you're going to shut the small girl down. And subsequent ones she cannot report again. You see, so it's not easy. Yeah. You are just saying your mom trusts, your mom trusts you. Do you know the bond that is between your mom and your dad? Do you know how far your mom trusts your dad? And one of the fears is that you are afraid. Is it going to collapse their relationship? That's what I want to be asking yourself. If I go and tell mommy, how would mommy? How would mommy have my mom? And then, no, sometimes you think
as a parent, they also want to know about yes, as a parent, you're supposed to know.
You can know your kids.
Sometimes it's not easy.
I've experienced something like that before when I was young. There was this guy and a girl. I was actually with them. They were young too, like I was about 6-7 years. They were about, the guy is gonna be like 12 years, the girl 16 years. and I was with them. The lady was preparing rice. She prepared the rice and gave me some of the rice. The lady entered into the bathhouse, and then the guy followed the lady. I went back to my mom, and then I later heard a lot of screaming, like noise and all that. When we came out, and they were like, the guy was forcing himself to sleep with the lady. But the mother was trying to defend the guy. Said the guy cannot do it. So the lady was like, I was there, so they should call me. My mom came to call me. My mom was like, but I don't try to. So whatever she says, just believe her. And I told them what I saw. Told them what I saw. The woman says, still, the man is doing yes, sir. And the little one punished the lady for forcing herself on the guy. Wow. You see? So sometimes parents need to, some of them, they know, say, I'm gonna but they only job with you to defend them anyways.
Yeah, that's why I say some, especially women, some of them keep all these things to themselves because of the aftermath. I'm more concerned with the fathers and the daughters, the uncles and the women in the girls in the family. Because sometimes when they do it, go back account. We all spoke about relationship.
Yeah.
You leave.
Yeah.
For me, I say verbal or emotional combo, I'm going in anything. You understand? How do you leave your father? How do you leave your family? Because you are going to report it. But then you want to analyze it. After reporting, this hours I live with this man. You understand? Yeah. That is how come sometimes a girl comes out to say my dad has been abusing me for 10 years, 15 years, and you're like, you sat down.
Because you're not like that.
You're not even that. When you're in the situation, the thing is, you live in the same house with the same dad who pays your fees and everything. I'm better now.
With such cases for like 10, 15 years, still a shroud you can hold it.
This one is too far.
And when the 10 years, the dad starts abusing you, who alive for a shroud?
The number of years, it's not easy. The number of years abuse, because you are staying with them, you say, oh, catch it, oh, my mean, so like, nah, and I'll show.
So, I don't know where Sylvia grew up.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I don't know where you grew up.
Legal.
Trust me. Growing up, I never knew someone called a counselor. Who is a counselor? I mean, in my environment, it was not like a counselor.
I went Catholic.
Everything is a church. Everything is a church.
Do you know something? When someone
My church doesn't have a counselor.
I just want to
counselor. Sir, we must sorry the counselor did get a name.
Environment is
science labor, yes.
No. Therapy and a counselor may come once. It's not a higher ranking way. And because oh, be a woman, be a fast, be a bit more truthful, be a bit to me. I think something about
so I got to know this person is learned. People as role models in their societies and people cry for
it's not easy to shout those people.
Even this thing where we are saying the pastors, I'm not against any religion, but pastors and religious leaders, sometimes they play a major role in this domestic violence.
Sure.
Because you go report to them and they be like, you understand? And this is tackling the thing that if your husband is beating you, he's going to kill you, man. This is how I'm to go back. So how do you understand? You can't say church. Yeah, because it's not proper.
So you said something initially that your mother brought you up and you can do everything. Let me give the last example before. For me, I don't know, I'm very young, but the experience I'm having and the kind of people I associate myself, I'm always with big people, like grown-ups. In my relationships, find myself being with older women, like sometimes. And I learned a lot. There was this woman whose husband was not beating her, giving her everything she needs, but emotionally she was being suffocated. He would go to work and come back and will not ask you how you're doing, how your day was, whatever it is. He just come and put his car down, come and eat, come and sleep. He will put it to actually like.
Yeah, like you don't exist.
On the day he wants to touch you before you start touching
being nice.
And after sex, that is it. You are not like you're like a boss and a secretary living in the house. The woman was very young when the man married her. She sat down, analyzed what is going on. I have to quickly do something about this. How do I leave? And then Colleen, she has 4 kids. How do I leave this relationship? The woman took up a course at Lekon, want to pursue a degree course without the husband knowing. Weekend school. Every weekend she will say, I'm going here. The husband will be roaming during weekend because he's a big man. He go to parties and weddings and those times she also leave and go to her course. She want to read her 4-year course. Finished, had a certificate without the husband knowing anything about it. She was upgrading her life to live. So sometimes it's not easy to leave this relation like that. You have to prepare.
You have a plan.
You have to plan and you have to prepare. Especially when the person is your everything. Like,
Exactly. That's why women
you understand?
build themselves.
You need to
build
Before you even enter into a marriage with someone, you need to be working at it.
You need to have a
Not all the time.
not
Not all the time.
yourself.
Yes.
It doesn't happen all the time.
People enter into relationship and they even forget about themselves, their life.
If I'm ready to, if a big man is ready to marry and you don't have a
don't have a
wife,
wife.
you say I'm going to look for a wife before you marry.
Yes.
You know something?
Those things are not real. You understand?
Some from the job,
Okay.
some from the marriage, some from education.
The man can set you up. The man can always do that.
No, so you have to have a plan. You have to have what you want to do. Not maybe want to work.
I think one reason why most women stay in abusive relationships, sometimes just don't move. Because I feel like they think of the aftermath. They're calling
That's what the woman But everybody can have a wife before their time. Even men. Sometimes
You can even, as a getting married,
you who can say
No.
let's say,
No, but what is marriage is supposed to be something. The man is coming to pick you to elevate you. Little do you know that he doesn't even care about elevating.
No.
Did you get the point?
Marriage is not a man picking you to elevate you. That is wrong. Because that has been our perception. Anything that most the man are reluctant, they're like, okay, my parents says, Mary, me. That is wrong. How for yourself.
So you are done with KT. You are done with KT. You are looking for a job. You have been searching for 2 years. You don't have a job. There is this manager who has a company who wants to marry you. I mean, naturally, you feel like once I settle with him, I'm going to get some.
One, you're a helper to the man. Okay. You're a helper to the man. So let's say with a scenario, you can actually work in this company.
So the woman, you may think that.
No, exactly. On the proposal, let's be down into the marriage. This is one trick that men use.
So you're what? You don't have anything. You don't have something to do. But
You see,
you have a mind, like you have knowledge about something.
Okay.
You can you get it. That's why sometimes they will advise you say you get to know the sweetest part of a man whilst you're dating a man. So if you have a business plan, and then he can help you. You don't have capital to start. Sure. And he can help you to start. You can take this one and start your business. Okay. I'm not saying, and then build a life for yourself before marriage.
Yes. I'm learning to support you and all that before that.
So the person.
When you make the man with everything, when the man is the one who buys the house, when he's the one who pays the bills, he buys your clothes, he everything.
That is
that men have married women, they have set up big enterprises for them, and they're living happily.
It works, but I'm trying to say
when you don't have an option, if you don't have an option, you may feel like that's the best option. People don't even allow managers to sleep with them just to give them a work.
That's what they take advantage of. If I have married you,
not everybody is proactive like you are.
I bought it. I feed you. I buy everything. What then so to fear now shift you on. Even the shop you are even at the mouth. Now say my baby and I do as my boy assume you know I also work for. Nobody leave my shop for me. Nobody.
I'm not what to say.
So when you get into the marriage, no.
That's what I'm trying to say. Have a life for
you cannot
yourself.
demand from the man when you're not married that you want him to set you up before he marries.
No. I am saying
Wait,
what I'm trying to say something
he was like assuming maybe if that's a big man, he wants to get married to you. But
you wait for him to set you up before.
Wait,
you are going to do the life for yourself.
Wait. see me, and then I'm not having anyone to do, right? It's like my course will have my certificate and everything more sunny, but we need to capital to start the business. We a big man, and I'm saying,
can you demand for me like me show dance and then we tell my show dance and
no, you have to
But to me, why
you need a marriage?
No,
that is desperate.
That is your perception.
Naturally supportive.
Yeah.
We have men that are naturally what's your plan? What do you have? Like, then it will be like, I'm going to help you. Some men will establish you. Some will tell you, but wait, after marriage,
I want to marry. For instance,
no.
But you see, definition of work. If your work is the time of let me go for a government job. Government job. Yeah, you can be your own entrepreneur.
Sure.
You can be your own.
That's what I'm saying.
Something. Yes, you have to have something.
Let's also
Let's say
know that.
like you sew. You don't have a shop, but you are sewing. A man can see you. Men love supportive women. Women that are hardworking. Sure. When he comes and sees you hardworking, actually, if he has the funds, he has the money, he's going to support you.
And let's also take note that not everybody is an entrepreneur. Not everybody is willing to work hard.
But some men. You can't rely on just God.
Let's also look at nature.
Guys.
Let's not forget nature. The natural thing is that a man picks up a woman and takes care of her, and the woman also takes care of the man.
Today is one of the interesting episodes here, and the room is very, very heated. If you don't end the show, we can talk for like 3 hours. So we're going to come to an end. I'll take their final words, and then maybe we'll see if we can bring them back some other time, because I'm really, really loving this. And what we were talking about now that has gotten heated is how to leave the marriage and all that. And then we got to a point that what if you don't have anywhere to go, anything to do, if you don't have a life, especially a woman, if you didn't have a life before entering the marriage, that's when now you feel like, where am I going? Am I going back to my parents' house? Make a start away. Guys, the question is simple. It's so weird, but it's simple. Why wouldn't you have your own life? You understand? Before entering the marriage. Because most women now are born. Sometimes I see say no fault. Then I do when you decide to leave. Oh, because you have class 6, no, you're now. And mind you, Bema go own for you. And if you decide to leave them there, Papa no night at time, and most women will carry their kids. But also your mom. Into some of them decide, so better now no idea. That is why I was saying that. What should you do before you get into the marriage? You know, be adding in there. So let's take it one after the other.
So let me say something before
Yeah.
with regards to abuse, I think we are narrowing it to not marriage per se. We are narrowing it to the fact that the last part we are saying is like if the person, because the person can provide, that's why they are. Trust me. There are so many men that the women are sponsoring.
Yeah, they beat them too.
There is this woman as VRA that I know. I mean,
That's emotional.
not emotional abuse. Physical. The guy has started. He has bought the car for the guy. He feeds the guy. He says the guy. He has given birth to 2 beautiful twins for the guy. Everything for the guy. Still, when he gets angry, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you are settled or not settled.
Malto has a point there.
The whole thing is that an abusive person is an abusive person.
And
No matter the position of the person.
Yeah. So you
Once you detect
be the victim of
Yes. Once you detect the abuse, there are 2 things involved. Either you find a way to ensure that whatever triggers the abuse, you dodge it all the time. Even this exchange of words, I mean, whatever it is.
Wait. Hold on with that. Can an abusive person change?
No.
Yes, an abusive person. Yes. But the person will not change because of you.
Yeah, they change because they are willing to.
Yes, people don't change because of people.
They change for themselves. They change because they want to.
So it's possible the person changes. But my point is that there are things that triggers abuse. I mean, the person will not just be there, happily smiling, then he start beating you. It doesn't happen like that. So once you look at it, I always say that there are women who are happy with men when they drink. I know someone who drinks a lot, and I've never seen them fighting with them. Because the wife is okay. She will not come and query you while you are drunk, that it will go and bring an argument. You understand? So if you're able to, once you find a person abusive, maybe you are in love with the person already, fine. It is about time you do more inquiries, like you assess the whole situation. Is it possible to live with him without triggering his abusive part of him? No. If no, then you have to find a plan to withdraw as early as possible. You have to. It doesn't matter whether it's a marriage, whether it's a relationship, whether it's friendship, whatsoever it is. The best thing is to withdraw from it. Or if you're able to find a way, there are so many people I'm close with. They have some attitude, but I have found a way to cope with it. It's either it doesn't worry me, or I found a way not to get them to that point. You understand? But if you cannot do that, and it's very hard, that option is very hard. It's not easy. It's not easy because you don't know what will happen. You don't know what will happen. So the best
thing is an abusive person. Sometimes you don't even know what is going to trigger it.
The best thing is to stay away from those people. Yeah. But are we also saying that those abusive people will never get anybody?
So they meet the abusive partner. They beat them. So there are abusive women and there are abusive men as well. So
that is basically
an abusive man and
I think
Chinese household.
And my words and my actions makes you move as early as possible.
Yeah.
I don't get to have you more.
Yeah.
The next woman, I don't get to have them more. I will think of changing.
Yes. That's why you said.
And it is when they have a chance to enjoy the women before you leave that one. So we go and start with another person. I mean, so I think it's about time to make abuse people know that it is like you change or you will be left alone in the world. Yes, because it is either you are left alone or you change, so that we cannot be happy together. Yeah. So basically, I think that's.
Well, I think that's Mauto's final word. Sylvia, I want to hear your final words.
Okay, before you enter into a relationship or do something in life, you need planning, you need to plan. You can't just dive into something without planning. Yes, and this is the time for women or men to come out of abusive relationship, being it marriage, friendship, divorce, let it not be a relationship. Yes, it's time for we people to come out of it. Yes, like we have people who doesn't have self-confidence. They're so low in self-esteem, as I said earlier on time I'm able to start it from here. Yes, we shouldn't be. As a human being, just have to plan. So that's what I think.
Okay, so as a human being, you have to plan. So we are not. This leg on there, Transaco woman.
Yes,
you see personal counselors. So I'm only I'm with you on that though. So Precious, your final words.
Alright, so any form of abuse is not good. Being it psychological, being it emotional, being it stalking, it's not good. See, you know, about like amongst all the abuses that we have mentioned, emotional abuse is the most common one. It's not common, but it's the most painful one. Because a lot of people at the psychiatric hospital, as a result of emotional abuse. You don't have to wait till you are beaten, you are emotionally abused for a long time before you leave. When you know it's not working, just go. It's not working, it's not going to work. So just move when you know, I can't take this anymore. Don't wait till you die. When you die in your grave, nobody will come and ask you what happened. And when you go to heaven, God will ask you why you stay. I'm telling you. So don't stay. If you stay and you die, it's up to you. but all the same, abuse is not good. So if you're an abuser, please stop. That's not a good thing.
Alright, so you heard it from my guest to today's show. Oh my goodness, I have had fun. I have had fun, and we've developed a new episode from this show, and I promise you I'll bring them back for us to have that heated conversation again. My name is Amasi Papa, and this is The Cow Show. Today's episode was brought to you by Trace Clothing. You can find her on IG bio_Trace_clothing, and her number is 024-698-2891. and my hair was done by LK Beauty Parlor. Her number is 054-694-6911. Zabi's Creation did my makeup, and Sylvia's makeup as well. Her number is 054-1646604. This show was also proudly sponsored by KO Mighty Service. He's been with us for a while now. You can contact him for your general carpentry, electricals, painting, graphic design. Call him on 054-677-6393. Today we spoke about domestic violence, and that is a very, very sensitive topic. And trust me, if you say we want to talk about this, we can go for 24 hours and still not have enough. And it was very fun, and trust me, I loved it. I loved it. But don't just take the fun aspect, learn from it. If you are in an abusive relationship, know that you can always work out. A person will not change for you, they will change for themselves. An abusive person is an abusive person. They know what they are doing. They won't tell you, okay, you did this, it triggered me. Everybody triggers everybody. There's no way you meet someone who does everything like 247. There are always going to be some things you like, some things you don't like. So if the person disagrees with you and they have to hit you or abuse you emotionally, that is wrong. So always choose yourself. You cannot love someone when you don't love yourself. You can't tell me I love this guy, so I'm there with you and he's abusing. Then you don't love yourself. So it is wrong. My name is Ama Sikapa, and this is The Cow Show. Until next time, bye.